What problem is Humantronik solving?
In one sentence, it can take intent and convert it into outcomes. So let me explain.
Most of them are doing the same thing, no?
So no,
Okay.
because most of them today are assistants.
Right.
You can ask questions, it can tell you something, it can give you some gyan, it can give you some knowledge, it can give you some facts,
Right.
it can give a point of view, it can do a plan for you. Very few actually take it to action, right?
That's
And
the agentic mode of it.
that is the agentic mode, but agentic modes also are mostly used to actually convert to planning, not action, right? Actions are just starting, but then can you tie it to outcome, not just actions? So can you actually say, okay, you told me to do this, which is your intent. You went and broke it down, planned it. That's what agents are very good at. You executed it, you converted it to actions. Now, can you tie it back to outcome and say, hey, this is the outcome I got. This actually does not match with what the intent you told me to start with. Let me begin again till I get to my outcome.
Okay.
So this loop that does not exist in the enterprise today is what we want to build.
Give me an example of how would it work in a. I know that's not out there yet, but if you'd have to take a hypothetical example, what would be the start point and what would be the end point?
Take a take an example of a Microsoft today.
Okay.
Right? You know that Judson is now the commercial CEO. Satya has stepped back.
Correct.
Because Microsoft is under pressure from Google and Anthropic and OpenAI in terms of how the AI thing is moving, and Satya wants to focus on, hey, I want to make the product better, I want to make the Copilot better, I want to make sure Microsoft keeps that edge. If I look at Microsoft as a whole and say, hey, what are the big problems that Microsoft is facing? One of them is definitely data center capacity. Every infrastructure provider is running out of capacity. The second problem is, how do I keep that edge in AI, right? So that Microsoft continues to grow. And Satya has done a beautiful job over the years. In the last 8 years or so, I think Microsoft has gone from strength to strength. But how do you maintain that strength in the new world is a problem that most large company CEOs and board members are thinking about. We want to take that hyper-personalized language model at the CEO level, the VP level, or the director level, and we want to infuse it in all of the actions and the planning that happens at the bottom.
So everybody thinks like a CEO.
Everybody doesn't think, but everybody has access to
the CEO's
the
brain.
CEO.
What changes in an organization what is the problem that you're solving in this?
So two problems we are solving. One is, how do I make sure that the organization actually works as an autonomous enterprise? If you can drive an autonomous car, or you have the technology to drive an autonomous car in San Francisco traffic, you definitely have the technology to run a company autonomously. So we are doing that. The second problem we are trying to solve is, okay, it's not enough to just run the company autonomously. You want to make sure you run it right. And the definition of right usually comes from the board or the CEO or the founder or the investor.
Correct.
The 10, 15,
the
20
stakeholders.
The 10, 15,
Your top
20.
10 customers, everything put together, right?
Exactly.
I'm getting a weird thought here though.
Sure, love to hear that.
So, if every single board meeting, every possible recording of Steve Jobs, every note that he prepared, every internal meeting, if there is enough recordings and notes of it, if that is fed
Yeah.
into the system that you're building, so
Could you get
a Steve Jobs can be running Apple forever?
If you have enough data, you can probably build a model for anything. It's possible. I don't think it's possible yet. I don't think you can create a Steve Jobs or a Bill Gates or a Satya Nadella or a Rabindranath Tagore, but you can come close. At least you can have someone who has access in a very structured way, in a very interesting way, to their knowledge, their thought processes, their experiences, that then you can use to find patterns.